Hey there, welcome to Bernama News. I'm Melissa Duez. The establishment of the ASEAN Economic Community, AEC, by end of this year would lead to a freer flow of goods, services, investment and skilled labour across the region, says Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak. The economic progress being sought by the regional group, however, must be sustainable and inclusive, with the fruits of success shared by all, he said.
By all. As the chair of ASEAN this year, Malaysia will ensure that all our community building efforts are people-centered, just as our last budget focused on the people economy, and that the well-being of all our citizens is at the heart of our drive to greater prosperity and our goal of achieving high-income nation status by 2020.
Najib said this in his keynote address at the 18th Asia Oil and Gas Conference 2015 at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre on Monday. He said the economic slowdown in China would not remove Asia from the centre stage, with Southeast Asia having been transformed from a region of strife and poverty to one of progress and development over the last 4 decades. He noted that ASEAN's urbanization and burgeoning middle class, expected to reach 144 million by 2017, were boosting consumer growth and demand for energy. Najib reiterated that as ASEAN chair this year, Malaysia would ensure that its community building efforts are people-centered, just as the country's last budget focused on the people economy. Meanwhile, addressing the prevailing low oil price at the conference, Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak called on renewable energy companies to invest in improving production methods. This will make renewable energy cheaper and more economically viable in the long run, thus ensuring its appeal when oil prices rebound, he said.
This is a time when cost-saving technologies and services will be in greater demand than ever before. And renewable energy source companies, for example, should be investing in improving their production methods, making them cheaper and more economically viable in the long run, ensuring that renewable energy will be even more appealing when oil prices rebound.
Najib, who is also Finance Minister, noted that within ASEAN, promoting innovative and smart technologies would not only increase energy efficiency, but also boost competitiveness in industries, including building, transport and manufacturing. Speaking at the Asia Oil and Gas Conference 2015, he told participants that although about a third of Malaysia's revenue source had taken a hit, the low oil price environment also meant that the country's exports had become more competitive. It had also brought opportunities to make timely changes and set reforms in place.
Malaysia embarked on a subsidy rationalization program in July 2010, and last December we lifted subsidies of petrol and diesel, something which we wanted to do for a long time.
Najib said for the past few years, the government had been working to strengthen Malaysia's economic fundamentals and fiscal position, broaden revenue streams and reduce the country's dependence on revenue from oil and gas. He said implementation of the goods and services tax last month would diversify the government's revenue further and will further strengthen the resilience of the country's economy. Over 1,700 participants of the oil and gas industry from 18 countries are attending the 3-day conference. Still on the oil and gas conference, for Petroleum Nasional Berhad Petronas, the current lower oil price is bringing its set of rewards for the company. Its president and group chief executive officer, Datuk Wan Zulkifli Wan Arifin, said it was a good time for the group's engineering, procurement and construction contracts in its refinery and petrochemicals integrated development rapid project in Pengerang, Johor. With the lower oil price, the National Oil Company had done some rebidding exercise to lower the pricing of projects in the development. The prices were acceptable and Petronas also did some rebidding to get better prices for the projects, Wan Zulkifli said at the Oil and Gas Conference on Monday when asked to elaborate on the impact of low crude oil prices on its rapid projects. Petronas had also reviewed the specifications of the overall rapid project that could give the company some savings. Following this, Petronas decided to rephase the development of the petrochemical plant in Rapid, said Wan Zulkifli. Rapid is part of the Pengerang Integrated Petroleum Complex in southern Johor. The whole project will house oil refineries, naphtha crackers, petrochemical plants, as well as a liquefied natural gas import terminal and a regasification plant.